My current work looks at migration by LGBT individuals, so lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender. And this was really prompted by personal experience. My partner is Peruvian and he said he had no interest to be involved with the Peruvian community over here at all because the views that encouraged him to leave Peru, the rather homophobic attitude, the very traditional attitudes towards gender and sexuality were the reason he wanted to leave Peru and move to the UK. And the Peruvians that he had met over here tended to share the views of Peruvians in Peru. The migration literature is still very much dominated by economics, but I found that in interviewing Polish and Russian gay men and women, that the economic factor wasn't sort of insignificant, but it was sort of much lower down the order of priorities. In Eastern Europe, the representation of gay men, in particular in the media, is invariably taken from a photograph of gay pride in London or Amsterdam or Berlin. And so if they're not personally acquainted with gay men, then they will just assume, or they can't really be blamed for assuming that gay men invariably are sort of highly sexualized, only sort of wear skimpy clothing, this sort of thing. Clearly, there isn't a direct correlation between the laws that are written on paper and the attitudes that the population at large will have towards sexual minorities. Europe is a very interesting case because it's very mixed. It's not a sort of a simple east-west split. Certain countries such as Hungary, the provision of equal rights for LGBT citizens is much higher than in countries such as Ireland or in Italy, for example. Italy has a very bad record in this regard. One of the main barriers, I think, to acceptance of homosexuality in Eastern Europe is nationalism. Gays and lesbians are constructed as being against the nation. They undermine this sense of sort of homogeneity within the nation because they're different. But it's in particular the fact that they are perceived not to have children and therefore continue the ethnic line means that they're sort of not contributing to the nation. So I was at a pride march in Riga in Latvia a couple of years ago, and there was a man with a banner which was encouraging people to send gays to the gas chambers. And it also reminded me of a cartoon that I saw on the front page of a Lithuanian daily newspaper, and it was a caricature of a Jew and a caricature of a gay man, and the title was Who Rules the World? So feeding into this stereotype of the global Jewish conspiracy, but also the global gay conspiracy. We sort of did a number of interviews with sort of heterosexual East European migrants, and some of them admitted that they'd never met a gay person until they moved to the UK, and they discovered that they were just like me and you. And so this, I think, is the best thing that the European Union has done to promote gay rights. It's not specific policies aimed at creating legal equality, but it's policies aimed at promoting mobility. Because once you sort of move to a different culture, you come across different norms, you understand that what you've been told growing up isn't the only way to perceive homosexuality, for example, in this case.